Hello, today we're going to be talking to Leslie Ashworth, who's an extremely talented young musician and also a significant charity person in our community. Leslie's from Oakville and she's played with the Oakville Chamber Orchestra many times. She's currently studying at Rice University and she has won very many awards on three different instruments, which are violin, piano, and viola. The most important award she's won was at the age 13. She was grand prize winner in the Canadian Music Competition's final and won the grand prize. She's performed in Italy, she's performed in Carnegie Hall, and has a wonderful career in front of her. But in addition, she is the founder of Sweet Melody Care, which we'll be talking about a little bit. And this charity plays in nursing homes and retirement residences around Oakville and expanding into other areas, and is truly a wonderful and positive thing in the community. So, welcome, Leslie.
Thank you so much. It's so great to
Super.
be here.
Yeah. So, in the past, you've won our prizes in our concerto competition several times. And let me see if I can remember all of them. You've performed the Bach E major violin concerto with us, the first movement of Mendelssohn violin concerto. You've played a movement of the Mozart A major piano concerto, number 23. But I think my personal favorite was the Barber violin concerto, which you played a movement with us. It's truly a special piece. Have you played it somewhere before?
Yes, I've played that concerto quite a bit. I love that concerto. It's such a heartfelt, very warm piece of music, and there's so many beautiful, expressive moments for the violin and for the orchestra.
Yeah.
Um, so
Yeah,
yes, we played the first movement together, I think.
yeah. Can you tell me exactly where else you've played the Barber concerto?
Well, I actually just recently performed the full concerto with the Kindred Spirits Orchestra in Markham. I was playing it with them back in the fall. So
Yeah.
that was a recent performance, but I also played it with a couple other orchestras.
Yes, it's a very involved piece harmonically. It's really a partnership between orchestra and violinist, and the harmonies are quite incredible. I just love that piece.
It's so
Yeah.
richly orchestrated.
Now, I remember you from a very young age, I believe, before you won your national prize at the Canadian Music Competition. I've always remembered you as a highly articulate person. And just looking back at this, some more of the things you've done, you have a bachelor's degree, I believe, from the Glenn Gould School at the Royal Conservatory, and now you study in Houston. So, can you tell me about your journey as a younger person and some interesting artistic experiences you've had?
My whole experience was amazing at the Glenville School. I loved it. Yeah, I did my bachelor's degree there, and it was a four-year program. I found it such an inspiring and very supportive place. Throughout the whole 4 years, I feel I had a lot of opportunities with performances, and maybe one highlight that comes to mind is, well, we get to work in an orchestra, at the Royal Conservatory Orchestra. We play in the orchestra, and we get to have these guest conductors come and perform with us. And in my final year, for the opening concert, I was concertmaster, and that was very exciting for me. It was such a like something that I had worked towards and really held as a goal. So that was really exciting. I also just love performing in Kerner Hall. It's such a beautiful place.
Yes, for sure. Kerner Hall is really one of the finest halls in Canada. It's a totally wonderful place to play. Do you remember what the orchestra played when you were a concertmaster?
Dvorak Symphony Number 8.
Dvorak Eighth Symphony is quite a wonderful piece. I've conducted it a few times myself. It's also totally an audience favorite.
Yeah.
So now, is it right that you're in your second year at Rice University?
I just finished my first year, so I'll be starting my second year in the fall. Yes.
How were things in Houston before COVID hit?
Well, up until March, we had a really wonderful time with orchestra, chamber music, and also we had some really wonderful classes. Starting in March, we went online. So sadly, orchestra had to stop, and hopefully we'll be resuming soon.
Has the university informed you what things are going to be like? Will they continue online in the fall?
Right now, the Rice has said that they're going to continue with in-person classes, but modified. They're going to offer them both online and in person, but they're going to reduce the class sizes.
I
Um,
see.
they also have purchased some outdoor tents.
Yes, we all have to get creative, you know. So we'd like to talk a little bit about Sweet Melody Care, which is truly a wonderful thing in our community. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
I started Sweet Melody Care back in 2012. So yes, it has been quite a few years, 7 years actually. Um, and it started off in Oakville, as you said, and I was playing at the Oakville Hospital and just saw how much the patients loved the music. And it really inspired me to create a program so that other youth could do the same and so that we could really create something that was sustainable for hospitals and for retirement homes. And so it really blossomed from there. We give over 100 performances now annually in hospitals, retirement homes, and long-term care facilities
Wow.
pre-COVID.
Yeah.
um, and we also have chapters in Houston, in Southern Ontario, and also in Iowa.
How did it start up in Iowa?
Iowa, actually, it was a friend of mine who I had met at a festival in Italy 2 summers ago. She was really interested in Sweet Melody Care, and she's a violist, a pianist, and she also is a pre-med student. She was very interested in the program, and so we were corresponding, and she um, offered to start up the chapter in Iowa so that she could give performances and she could get other youth involved there in giving performances.
So are you the main administrator of Sweet Melody Care?
That's right. Well, my actual title is founder and chair. And we recently incorporated, so I'm very fortunate that we have now 8 board members that are supporting Sweet Melody Care's mission, and that's really going to be a really wonderful asset as we continue to develop and expand throughout Canada.
What's the main goal of the fundraising that your board does?
Well, so the idea is that right now we have all high school students giving volunteer performances. Um, they earn their volunteer hours that way because it's a requirement for high school students in Canada to have 40 hours of community service. So they receive their volunteer hours by giving these performances.
Hmm.
Um, there's other plans in the works, but I won't say much more about that right now.
You're totally right that it makes a big difference in people's lives. My mother lives in the Queens Avenue retirement residence here in Oakville, and I know that you've sent musicians there, and it's a wonderful thing. It's people can get isolated, and it's really great to have entertainment like this.
To give back that way, you can, as you said, yeah, it makes a difference, and it's just so amazing to see how powerful music is. It has such a really positive effect on people.
Can you tell me a little bit about how it was you started playing music and what are your goals? What do you end up or see yourself ending up doing?
So I started playing the violin when I was 4. I have my first violin. It was tiny, and 1/16 size. And I'm very grateful to my parents who were very patiently listening to me practice Twinkle Twinkle for about probably a year or so. Sounds terrible at the beginning.
It really does.
Yeah.
And I've always loved music. I've always loved being able to make music. And so it was natural that I pursued the violin. And as to my future goals, well, I am going to continue with my second year of my master's. Long term, I would like to continue probably pursuing further education, but down the road, I also I'd like to perform. I love performing in many different capacities: solo, chamber, orchestra, and I also love teaching. So I hope to be able to continue to do that and expand that
Sure.
area. Yeah.
Our audience should be aware that performing for seniors can be made into a career in music therapy. It's quite a growth industry.
Actually, one of my Sweet Melody Care students, my first Sweet Melody Care student that applied to Sweet Melody Care, actually pursued that pathway, which is really neat. So she started out in high school performing the flute as a performer in Sweet Melody Care and playing in retirement homes, and she's actually gone on to pursue music therapy.
It's a very meaningful experience, and music therapy can really make a difference, especially for patients with dementia.
And it's such a valuable, they work hand in hand with doctors, it's such a valuable resource. Yeah.
I believe we have some links to share in case people want to check them out.
So actually, I think one of the links we're sharing is the Sweet Melody Care virtual performances. So we started those after COVID hit, and we've been giving these virtual performances in hospitals and retirement homes. So we're sending the link so that elderly and hospital patients can listen to it from the safety and comfort of their own rooms. And we've had musicians from Canada, the US, also Germany and Wales send in videos to contribute to these virtual performances. So yes, if there's anybody listening that's interested in taking part, please reach out.
COVID is far from an ideal situation, but we're making the best of it with online lectures and performances. Learning how to use technology and developing ourselves in this way, it's not all that bad.
It's true. Yeah. Encouraging us to be creative too.
I'd like to say again how wonderful it was to work with you on 4 different concertos on 2 instruments. I'm sure we'll have you back again sometime. Everyone here is really proud of you, so let's please keep in touch.
Thanks so much, Charles.
Do you have a website you'd like to share with us?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, my website is my name, so leslieashworth.ca. And there's also a contact page through there. But also my email address is my last name, Ashworth Productions with an S at the end @gmail.com.
I'm sure there's lots of reasons why people want to reach out to you.
Thank you. Yes, that would be
Yeah.
great.
Thanks so much for talking with me. It's been wonderful to see you again.
Thank you, Charles. Stay healthy.
Same to you. Bye.